All right. So, man, we're starting to get like weekly some DC news trickling in, from James Gunn stuff. I mean, it seems like a little bit tidbits are keep coming in, keep coming in.
Hmm.
So, yeah, there's going to be an animated Robin origin story featuring Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Yeah.
You're going to call it the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Mm. And
Uh,
this is,
Robin and
yeah, I
Robin.
can get behind.
this is going to be animated. I think this is what they're working on after Creature Commandos, or they started working already. It's going to be the next one animated film series. I think after Creatures Commando.
Yeah. It's supposed to be so we already have a writer for this.
Mhm.
Um and it's the same writer from Coco. And Matt Reeves is producing it, but this is going to be separate from the Reeves
Right.
Gotham
Mm.
verse that we
It's gonna be
already
like
have
like an
with the
Elseworld or
Batman and
something.
I'm sorry?
It's gonna be like an Elseworld type thing. It's gonna have no relation, correct?
Right, correct.
Mm,
So it's going to be completely separate from Batman and Penguin that we're getting right now,
yep.
and Batman 2 eventually, right? So this is going to be separate from what we're getting right now. But
But
yeah,
we've already seen Matt Reeves. We've seen one animated version of he worked on with Batman. So we know he can pull it off. I'm here for it.
because he
Like
worked on the Caped Crusader, right?
mm-hmm. Yep. And to me that
Mm.
was great. That's a great
Hmm.
series, phenomenal. So,
Yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, I'm definitely here for it. It's the first time I think ever in my life I've been getting like anxious and excited for DC things to be dropping. But yeah.
Yeah, even though it's like an overload of just straight up Gotham shit, it's like it's still DC and it's good
Yeah.
quality DC stuff. So,
Or like when it does come to
we
DC, if
heard
I
your thoughts about that last episode.
oh man,
you have not missed, or if you have missed Deontay's rant on DC, go back and watch the last episode. It's worth it. I promise you.
very
it's
unhinged.
it's different.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm anxious for this. I think it's I don't think we've actually seen this animated or live action. A story of these two toads like this. Really,
Yeah,
I mean, closest we've seen is probably the Max
Batman and
series.
Robin and
No, no, no. I was gonna say with Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. I
oh,
mean, the
okay.
closest thing we got was the Max series, Teen Titans or
Mm.
Titans. I'm sorry.
Mm.
So those two characters were heavily in there, but I think this is going to be a completely different storytelling at all of their characters. So,
All right.
that being said, we had the pleasure of watching Joker Folie yesterday. Me and Deontay did.
Yeah.
I did
So,
not.
yeah, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, their performances were great. Like their acting is great for what they were what they were doing, what they portrayed. Uh, so the first Joker movie, I absolutely loved.
Mhm.
I know it's a mixed review on it too, but like I loved it, and it was something I just thought really worked well as a standalone movie without it even having anything to do with DC. Really, I think just a standalone being non related to Batman was phenomenal, which had me super excited for Joker Folie. And I don't know. I watched it. I'll probably never watch it again. So it was very artsy, and I know what they were going for, and I can appreciate the art that was put into it.
Okay.
But I feel like even I don't know. I feel like even for a musical, it was too much. So I
Mm.
think that so the musical acts to me it made the movie get lost and unfocused easily to me. I feel like it was a little overly done.
Okay.
Uh, I don't
Because
know.
they try to say that like it wasn't because like I haven't seen it.
Right.
So like I remember them saying like, oh, it's a musical, and then them getting flack about it, and then they were kind of like, oh, it's not a musical. She got musical aspects to it.
It's definitely a musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's definitely a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I could be wrong. I know I'm probably exaggerate when I say this, but I feel like there was like 16 musical acts in this 2 hour and 18-minute movie, and it needed maybe two music acts. I just feel like the story gets very lost in the music acts, and most of the music acts I didn't really care for, to be honest with you. I found myself and Deontay both nodding off
Yeah.
during some of the music acts. Like literally, we elbowed each other. It was like, oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. Uh, But the acting was great. Like, I mean, like Joaquin Phoenix, let me tell you, like that guy just the
He
character.
plays an amazing Joker.
Yeah, the Arthur Fleck, the struggles, the trauma, the stuff that he's been through. Like God, he plays such a great person that struggles with like it was a psychosis issue.
Mhm.
And Lady Gaga's stuff, I would have liked to see more Lady Gaga. Uh,
Okay, with Harley Quinn.
I would have liked
Okay.
Mm.
more screen time and more diving deeper into her character than what we got. Like it's definitely a different take on Joker Harley Quinn, and I get this is Elseworld. Uh, man, it was a lot of music, and not I. And some musicals I'm hit and miss with. So like I don't hate musicals by no means, but to me it's got to be done really really well,
Mhm.
just for the way I like to look at them. Like
Yeah.
just because I don't like this doesn't mean someone who loves musicals watch this and they're like, oh, this actually was phenomenal.
Right, because I mean,
Mm.
you're still excited to go see Wicked, which very much
Right.
is a musical.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, and like I love Grease, and Greatest Showman is one of my all-time favorite movies, and that's a musical.
mhm,
But there's certain musicals that's just not my thing. So this musical just wasn't really my thing.
okay.
Uh, yeah,
If
there's
you had to
definitely one.
compare it to another musical that you had seen or movie kind of thing, like
Mm,
what would you guys like? Have you seen
I
anything kind of like it or
no.
no? Okay,
Mm-mm.
no,
So like
just no.
Yeah.
I've watched some bad musicals. Well, for my taste,
Mm.
and I can't even tell you one right now because like I've made my mind forget them. So
Did you
this will.
like Les Mis?
So I've actually not ever watched that all the way through. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I need to,
What
because I
movie
need
was
to.
this?
Les Mis with
Les
Hugh
Les
Jackman.
Mis.
Miserables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like Sweeney Todd, because those
Oh,
are
Okay,
Sweeney
some
Todd.
musicals.
Absolutely.
so Sweeney Todd was definitely not on top of my list. Like, that was one of those I watched once and never would again, but
Mm,
I would rather watch Sweeney Todd than this.
I love Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
So
Sweeney Todd
Yeah.
was my
I'm just trying to
shit.
see where your
Yeah,
like
yeah.
liking of musicals are. Is
Yeah,
that
well,
an
I'm not
answer?
saying like, "Ooh, I've watched a crap ton of musicals," but, like,
Mm,
this one was just not for me.
Unnecessary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
okay.
think it was, very unnecessary.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah.
Deontay, what's your thoughts on kind of that and different things? I mean.
It's like I got one major con and one major pro about this. One major con about this movie is that, of course, the musical bits were unnecessary. It's just like, why would you sit in your office and be like, man, you know what the people of the United States want to see? Uh, Joker using musicals as a way of escapism from his really fucked up reality.
Oh,
And it
it's
was
like
like,
Sucker Punch.
yeah, basically
Oh,
that's what it is. It's just like
Yeah.
we're gonna spaz out and live in this fantasy world where I'm him, I'm Joker, and I'm this shit. And it's like, all right, cool, but bring us back to reality so we can get back to you killing people. And
Yeah, we see more
he didn't do
Joker
none
in
of that.
fantasy than we did in real life. I mean, like, pretty much our Joker that we got out of this was fantasy only until the very end, and then it was, like, done and over.
oh,
Yeah, and it's just like Todd Phillips allowed other actors to be more Joker than Arthur Fleck was. So it's
Yeah,
just like
truly.
he's like soul searching. He's like trying to figure out if he's truly the Joker or not. And it's just like the whole movie contradicted itself. So I can
mm,
see why people would complain about it. I
okay.
don't understand why they would completely shit on this movie though, because it,
No, no, no,
Mm,
no. I don't think you
yeah,
should completely shit because, like, even though the musical thing wasn't for me, I know. Like, that's just my opinion. Like,
yeah.
'cause there could be people who are huge musical fans and thought it was done really well. I'm obviously not, like, super educated in that realm of movies, but, I can appreciate the artsiness. I mean, it's very artsy, like, with the fantasy deals, but, like, why make this like you said, why make this a musical when the first one completely was not? And it
Yeah.
was so well received, I feel like.
Mhm.
And like they didn't have like the budget was really low for the first one. Like I remember them that was the thing. They made so much money off the first one because the budget was so low and it was so well loved. I just feel like this was a wild left turn uh that was not the best move for a sequel.
Something that I
yeah,
actually
it just
realized was that like when this movie came out, that 5 years to the day exactly
Mhm.
was the day that I saw Joker 1. Like in theaters. So I was like,
Uh,
did they really make it just exactly 5 years like apart? Did they
hmm.
put them in the same exact release date? So I have to like look into that because I thought that was pretty cool. But I remember going and seeing Joker 1 and being like, okay, this is a standalone Joker movie.
Right.
This is not getting a sequel, and that's what they kept on saying. So this is just a
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and it's not going to get a sequel. And then now here we are 5 years later with the
Mm.
sequel, and I'm
And
like,
this movie starts
Yeah.
off taking place like 18 months after the first one. So,
Yes, and it's
but
pretty much the way that they wrote this movie. This movie could have been the first Joker movie. Honestly,
mm,
all you had to do was give us one flashback to why
yeah,
Arthur wound up in
honestly,
Arkham,
yeah,
and then you just go from there. Because you
this
could have
sto-
changed the title too. Because Folie I do is just like
yeah,
why would you choose that? You could have just said the
yeah,
trial of Arthur Fleck,
dude, yes,
which is
yeah,
90% of the movie.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Like
just it's
so the to be honest with you, I did not expect this least of progression in his character. Like we got zero progression in his storytelling. I feel like at all.
okay,
And then he ends up just forgive me for saying this, turns out to be a little bitch at the end. I mean, he ends up just like giving up his Joker deal, like, oh, I'm not psycho. I did this, and yes, I killed. Y'all think I killed 5? I killed 6. My mother, I smothered her with a pillow. Like we got zero progression of this. That he ends up like giving it up, and then he gets stabbed by a true psycho in the prison and gets killed at the end of this.
oh,
yeah, spoiler.
Which is like the real Joker is kind of what they're leading on to be because Arthur Fleck was never the Joker we all know.
yeah,
Mhm.
So like it's almost like Arthur Fleck set the foundation for the real Joker to become, and that's how this
mm,
ends. And we know we're not getting any more movies of this. And what's wild is like you see this guy who's a true psycho, and he just stabs Joaquin Phoenix multiple times in the gut. And then as he's laying on the ground dying, he takes the knife, and you can see it's blurred out, but he's taking the knife and cutting his smile onto his face like Heath Ledger's Joker. Why they would do that in this and like mess with people's mind, knowing that's immediately what everybody's going to think is like, oh, is this? There's so many people out here like, is this how Heath Ledger's Joker started? You know, like this ain't
Yeah.
even that same world. So like,
yeah.
No.
why even give us a few seconds of showing this guy cutting the scars, the cuts into his face like our Heath Ledger Joker, and then he's laughing hysterically, and that's how it ends.
Maybe this is their way of saying because haven't seen it, don't know, right?
Sure.
But based off of what you guys are saying, maybe this is their way of saying this is how this Joker was originated, and we're
Hmm.
going to see this Joker in one of the Reeves or someone's DC universe, and that's the beginning because we don't actually know based off the comics, based off of everything,
Hmm.
how Joker started. Joker has no origin story. So
Mhm.
like they could
Right.
really do whatever they want with it.
Sure.
So
Well,
I'm
And
wondering.
also,
and this is
Heath
set like
Ledger got his smile from his parents, so his dad cut his smile open on his face, and that's where he got his. Remember how? You want
well,
to know how I got the
we
scars?
really don't know though, because every time he's like, "You want to know how I got these scars?" The story changed every time. Every
That's right,
time.
he did.
The
He
story
did. He
changed
did change
every
the
time,
story.
so we really don't know because the dude was just like lying
What's up?
lying every time. We don't know if any of those stories are true, if one of them was true, or none of them are true.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
because and we also got to remember this is the Phillip verse. So there's a Nolan verse, there's a Reeves verse, and then
right,
this is Todd Phillips. So he has no connection to him, and he's just playing around with ideas and shit. And it's just
yeah.
like, all right, reckless, but
I
I'll take it.
It's reckless. I wish they wouldn't have done it because I think it's going to do nothing but just like with people like us who love to deep dive and figure out what the meaning behind everything. I think it's just a mind fuck to be honest with you. Like
Mm.
It really
it's
is.
going to lead to nothing. But it's going to mess with us and be like, why did you do that to us? Why did we have to see this? Because you're going to make people wish it led to something now, but it's never going to. So it's going to be an unfulfilled thing.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like
we
I
don't know
have
that,
one
but
pro.
Do what?
Yeah,
we don't know if it's not going to lead to anything. We don't know.
Let's be real. It's not leading to anything.
I mean, like
it,
I can tell you right now, this movie's going to. I don't.
it's his swan song. It's Todd Phillips' swan song. He's done with this.
Yeah,
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 I don't think it's going to lead to anything at all. I don't think we're getting
yeah,
nothing at all in the Todd Phillips verse after this.
okay.
yeah. We don't need it. I think there's a lot of good things that came out of this movie, but the one major one major pro for this movie is Harvey Dent. When I tell you this movie should have been called the Trial of Arthur Fleck.
Yeah, that been a perfect deal for real.
He was the ultimate antagonist. This dude's like a portrayal of Harvey Dent as a district attorney, and he just grills the dog shit out of Arthur Fleck.
In a way younger version that we're used to seeing on film. But the guy actually, he's a great actor. Like I really like his portrayal. It's not your typical Harvey Dent you expect, as in like how young he is, but like it's pretty good.
Yeah, they even give you like a little tease into how he became his own Two-Face, because it's just like they getting ready to run the verdict on him, and Arthur Fleck get bailed out because the courtroom explodes, and the explosion burns half of
his face. Yeah,
Harvey's face. So it's man.
Yeah, real quick, you see him knocked out, like passed out unconscious, and it goes by his face. You can see his face is kind of messed up, and like that's all you get of that. But
like, man, next you got to see like the downward spiral of him becoming Two-Face, because he's such a damn good lawyer, and that's basically his origin story anyway. So it's like the White Knight of Gotham, and then this movie kind of teases descent into Two-Face. So that was done really well.
What's wild too is like at the very, very end when the courtroom explodes, you're like, oh, it's finally starting to get good. That's when it ends.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that they could, is what I'm saying, is that they could do something with it, whether it be a series or something that they just put on Max. You never know with DC, like what you're going to get next. Like we're getting a dynamic duo. Like we're getting what did we talk about last week? Bane and Deathstroke movie.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's just like you don't know what you're getting until all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I guess this is what we're getting now. Okay.
And it really seems like we're getting we're going to have a lot more Elseworld stuff. Like, seems they're going to have like multiple universes of Elseworld stuff in this new DC realm. So,
and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with the storytelling of getting to see something new and different, and just seeing where it goes. Like, even if it doesn't go anywhere, like that's completely fine too.
Yeah, it's like they're fail safe, because it's like there's no other characters in DC, obviously, so we're just going to keep pumping out Batman shit. So it's just like, all right, we're going to ignore like all the other characters. We'll push out another Joker movie. We'll push out another Dick Grayson project, another Bruce Wayne project. Like, bro, there is other DC characters, bro.
Well, I mean, we're getting so many in the Superman Legacy movie. I mean, crap, we probably got 12 different main characters in Superman Legacy that's been talked about.
Yeah.
So we're interested to see how well that plays out.
Like, focus on like Hawk Girl or something. Like,
speaking of that, I think she's going to be in Superman Legacy.
She will be, and her costume so far looks pretty horrendous, but hopefully they tidy that up.
Now as horrendous as Nathan Fillion's haircut. Yeah.